The participants of the SLW722, that is the International Human Rights Law. Karibu sana, welcome to my class, virtual class today, the maiden class, and the first unit, the United Nations International System that we are going to delete. And I already told you that I posted here. Now let us go to the next slide to see what actually the United Nations International Organization. Please unmute and read what I posted on the screen.
United Nations International Organization, a notable gap in existing analysis of the United Nations is the relative absence of the systematic treatments of the links between the organization itself and the international system in which it operates.
Yes, enough. I will give the explanation for this one. A notable gap existing analysis of the United Nations is the relative absence of the systematic treatment of the links between the organization itself and the international system in which it operates. United Nations is there. How the United Nations is formed? It formed through the membership of all the states. Am I right?
Yes.
And before that, there is a League of Nations were there. In the First World War, after the Second World War, and they thought that let the unity would be there, otherwise the prosperity will not be there, and hence the United Nations is formed over there. Of course, with the 1946 mother of the treatment is there. What is that? UNDP. What is that? United Nations. The first charter of the UNO.
United
Nation. What is the first charter? Okay, better we will make it very clarify without wasting the time. The UN, United Nations Declaration of the Human Rights. UN Declaration of the UNDHR. Yes.
UNDHR, yes.
Yeah, that is UNDHR. It is the first charter made by the Universal Declaration of the Human Rights. The Universal Declaration of the Human Rights, UDHR, is a milestone document in the history of the human rights, drafted by the representative with the different legal and cultural backgrounds from all the regions of the world. It set out for the first time fundamental human rights to the universally protected. So, UDHR is the first, the charter which is made by all the members. At that time, only 53 members are there, if I not be mistaken. But now, what is the membership of the United Nations Organization? 193, but 3 or 4 in the pipeline. Total it becomes 197. Present membership in UNO at present, that is 2023. As of 28 March 2023, there are 193 member states of the United Nations, each of which is a member of the United Nations General Assembly. They are the members of the General Assembly. Of course, permanent member of the Security Council is different again. And the permanent members are different. And they will be elected, I believe it is 3 years or 5 years. We will see it in the later part, how they will be elected over there. But there are 5 members or permanent members of the Security Council. They do have the veto power. And that is the thing is again. Do you have any idea that who are the 5 permanent members of the Security Council? I mean, 5 permanent members. Definitely China is there. France is there. US is there.
US and the UK.
UK is there. Then
German.
Yeah, 5 permanent members of the Security Council. Of the Security Council. See, the 5 permanent members of the Security Council is China, France, Russian Federation, you forget the Russian Federation, the United Kingdom, and the United States. And Germany is not there.
Okay.
Yeah, the France is there, but Germany is not there. China and is a 223. And then 10 non-permanent members elected for the 2 year terms for the General Assembly with the end of the term 223. So these are the composition of the Security Council, and the 5 members have the veto power. The major languages, of course, there are 7 or 5 languages are spoken over there in the UNO, and among them Arabic is there. Are you following me? Then definitely Germany,
Yeah.
French is there, Spanish is there, and these are the, of course, in the coming classes that we will learn how many languages will be spoken in the United Nations organization. Now let us go to the point of our study is concerned, what we are discussing just now. Yes, let me close this one so that we can go to our, yeah. So now the organization. So the international organization UNO, we cannot separate each other like your logic and law. Can you separate logic from the law from the logic?
No.
It is interwoven, and one will
They
not
are
be there without another one. So international organization and the UNO, the system, but there is certain gap is there, notable gap in existing the analysis, because sometimes UNO is act like a political body, and that will be supported by the USO. So these links constitute a complex dual relationship, both sides of which are worthy of the serious analysis. And most of the members, those who are the giving the donation, I mean the revenue, of course their say is more, and who contributes to the UNO. Of course, each state should have to contribute it, including the even sometimes necessity comes the defense also. So these links constitute a complex dual relationship is there, both sides of which are worthy of a serious analysis, because each country would like to say that their say would be dominant there in the UNO. But it cannot be possible, but we can harmonize them. And these links constitute a complex and dual relationship and the functions and the activities of the United Nations. When you see the functions and activities of the United Nations, when Russia is bombarding the Ukraine, what the UNO did it? Of course, later on they filed a case against the Putin. Is it Putin? Yes.
Yes, Putin.
Yes, they filed a case against the summons are issued by the International Criminal Court, which is there in Hague, to call upon a summons were issued by the IC International Criminal Court. Okay, these links there, the functions and the activities of the United Nations are molded by the fundamental dimensions and dynamic process of the international system. How the functions and activities of the UNO, because UNO is consisting of the all 193 states, they are the members, and each member would like to make their say. At that instance, whose state voice should be heard by the UNO? The majority states which make the consensus, naturally it will be taken into consideration. Like we say, majority is the law. Am I right?
Yes.
That is why we can say the assenting judgments and dissenting judgments. Can the dissenting judgment prevail over the assenting judgment?
The
Answer no.
No.
The reason is division bench always consisting of how many members? It is always
One
not
and
even
three.
numbers, odd numbers. Are you following me?
Yes.
The bench, division bench or full bench, consisting of always odd numbers like 3, 5, 7, 9, 11.
11.
Why not 6, 8, 10, and 12?
Because the vote,
Suppose
they
somebody
have
give the ascending judgment and somebody give the descending judgment. For instance, the board consisting of the bench consisting of the 10 members, and 5 give the ascending, 5 give the descending, and it's a draw.
I said draw match.
That is the reason the even numbers would be there. If the 5 have given dissenting, if the 6 have given the ascending, naturally the ascending judgment will prevail over the descending judgment, because majority is
Yes.
the law. And hence, the many people consensus are taken into consideration, and that will prevail mostly. But sometimes what will happen now, there will be some pressure by the high authority on the nations, those who are weak. And at that instant, no, they will say, okay, boss is saying, better we'll give the side of the boss. And of course, they will vote also sometimes. So the function and activities of the United Nations are molded by the fundamental dimensions and dynamic process of the international system. So it's the international system, and when a charter is made, every country make their contribution in the charter. And if any defects would be there, they say either they may be sign the charter. Generally declarations or other things, sometimes they don't sign it if it is made by the UNO also. But charters are mainly made with the consent of all the states. Hence, all the states, those who are member states, should have to follow the charter. Is it clear?
Yes.
And
Yes.
at the same time, however, the United Nations is itself an actor in the system and is sometimes able to influence its environment significantly. I told you just before. The 5 permanent members of the Security Council try to influence the other nations, because many factors are there, relations are there, economic bonds are there, otherwise, and some lenience would be given and some pact would be considered, and if not, there would be economic sanctions and they will be boycott from the membership and they will be isolated. The country will be isolated. So the United Nations plays a key role, try to influence the environment significantly, definitely. Throughout the history of the United Nations, the impact of the systematic environment on the organization has far surpassed the impact of the organization on the system. See, the point is, why the UNO will interfere in the internal matters of the state. It is the state will take the care of it. But in sometimes, no, they will dominate it. They will take the decision and they will make the right over the Afghanistan. For instance, you take the Afghanistan, what happened? What is the position of now Afghanistan? They made the UNA people to run away from their land. Are you following me?
Yes.
Then what is the use of it? Now, a lion is running back, which is the king of the forest. Sometimes, no, you should not dominate it because the internal affairs are there. If it comes to the matter of the state is there, other states are suffering a lot. At the time, okay, one can do so. Provided the representation should be made by the other states. And see the Ukraine and Russia. And
Yes.
my point is always, my theory is, be good with the neighboring countries, because it is the neighboring countries comes to your rescue first. Are you following me?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Prof. Be good with the neighboring countries.
Yes. And in the same manner, in the society, be good with your neighbors in the street, in the locality. because
Yes.
they will come to the rescue first, not your brother who is staying in the Australia or Canada or USA. So,
Yes.
having the friendly relationship, then the country will boom, and it is a plus point to it. War is always, note the point, war is always a disaster to the both the countries. Even the winner also cry, even the loser also cry. But only thing is, the loser will cry on the spot, the winner will cry in the home, in the house, or in the four corners. So now point of throughout the history of the United Nations, the impact of the systematic environment on the organization has far surpassed the impact of the organization of the system. So naturally, you cannot go against the system. Please note the point. You cannot go against the system because system is more powerful than the individual. And system is formed based on many factors, and system is strong always. Nevertheless, the influence of the United Nations on the world politics should not be the underestimated. No, still UNO make the politics. We should not underestimate it because it is a powerful organ, and this organ, of course, will not use it as a sword. It can be used as a shield. So, especially in its more subtle and intangible forms. So indirectly, not, but indirectly also they will influence and they do have their own say. For instance, the dean is there, or the head of the department is there, and the lecturer is there. And whose domination is more? Lecturer domination is more, or head of the domination is more, or the dean domination is more?
The dean double.
Dean domination is more because dean is more powerful than the head, and the head is more powerful than the lecturer. But
Yeah.
when the lecturer is in the strong hold and the right path, no one can do anything because he is on the right path. But sometimes right path also will be dangerous. You should not supposed to tell lie. That is true. That is true. One should not supposed to tell the lie. Yes, but to save somebody else, you can say you can tell the lie. Are you following me?
Yes, Prof.
To save somebody from life, from the gallows, hand to death, if you say a small lie, and he will be survived, and he will be given another chance to rectify himself and lead the life, and let him be have the thing which he repented, and see that the pain, repentance is a good pain and a good punishment. So that is the international organization, the United Nations, how it can have a role over there in particular things. I made it clear. Now let us see the next point. I made the another also here. Yeah, let me check it where it is there. No. This we already covered. Okay, now let us see the another point I would like to discuss. Yeah. Is it in a tangible form somewhere? No, this we already dealt it. And the tangible form, this also we dealt it. And now UNO, yeah. No, this is the same. But I made the two. Okay, let me check it, this one. No, this is also same. Okay, now let us go to the another point of our say, because I already kept it. Just a minute. Let me stop staring so that I could know where I kept my file. Yeah, inbox and so. These are 5 permanent members here. Okay, now let us go to the another point. Let me share it first. Yeah, let me share, then share content. Where is the content? Yeah. Now let us move to the UN role and purpose. Okay, let me check this one. But this is not because now we have to see the international organization how it can make a thing. Course outline, first test, and UN International Systems Unit 1, and then UNO 1 2, and what is this MB? Let me check it. So now let us see the what is UNO. What is UNO? Yes.
You,
Is it visible now? What is UNO? UNO consisting of how many bodies?
ERO,
Number 1, General Assembly. Number 2, Security Council. Number 3, Economic and Social Council. Number 4, Trustship Council. Number 5, the International Court of Justice. Number 6, UN Secretariat. All were established under the UN Charter. Which charter? Human Rights Charter,
you,
1946. And when the organization was founded in 1945. So these are the 6 organs of the United Nations organization. All the 5 organs, where they are situated? Sir, where? Yes?
they are situated in Geneva.
All 5 organs are in the New York.
New York. Good.
And only one organ is outside. What is that organ which is outside? Among the 6.
The
If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know it, you say pass on. Don't waste the time.
person.
It is only one organ. International Court of Justice is there. It is in Netherlands, The Hague, in the palace
Okay.
that is there. In the same Netherlands, International Criminal Court also there. Earlier, both are in the same palace, but now only the International Court of Justice is there in the palace, and the International Criminal Court is, they do have their own building, and they shifted over there. And I don't know whether you have seen the International Court of Justice photo. It is looking like a church. But in the beginning, I thought it is a church, but it is not a church. ICJ image. Did you see it now? Images.
Yes.
International Court of Justice images. This is International Court of Justice, which is there in the Netherlands, Hague.
Netherlands.
Yeah. So now let us see the first General Assembly and all the members of the world, members of the General Assembly. The General Assembly is the main deliberative, policy making, and representative organ of the UN. And all 193 member states of the UN are represented in the General Assembly. And where Tanzania also one of the member, including the India, making it the only one body with a universal representation. Each year in September, the full UN membership meets in the General Assembly Hall in New York for the annual General Assembly session. and general debate, which many heads of the state attend and address there. And earlier, you know that a lecturer from the University of Dar es Salaam, a lady, and she is the representative from the Tanzania. Do you know her name?
No.
Asha Magiro.
Asha Rose Migiro. Okay.
Asha Rose Magiro.
Okay.
But present, I don't know whether you represent Kennedy or any other person, even representative now. But anyway, decision on the important questions, such as those on peace and security, admissions of new members, and budgetary matters, require two-thirds majority of the General Assembly. So out of 193, two-thirds majority should be there for making any motion to pass. So decisions and other questions are by the simple majority. The other decisions we can make the simple majority is enough, but some critical like the membership is concerned, admission is concerned, peace and security is concerned, and budgetary matter is concerned. At that instance, two-thirds majority should have to approve it. Then only it can be done. So decisions and other questions are by simple majority. It can be handled. The General Assembly each year elects a General Assembly President to serve a one-year term of office. A president would be there for the General Assembly and he will be, duration, his tenure is 1 year. But a Secretary General is there, I am sure that he is for the 5 years, if I not be mistaken. Now the Security Council is concerned. The Security Council has a primary responsibility under the UN Charter for the maintenance of the international peace and security. See why all these charters, protocols, treaties, bilateral, multilateral, declarations to have a peaceful life on the planet Earth. So to maintain the peace and security plus a healthy planet on the Earth, and these cooperation, these harmonization, these organizations are needed. It would be a one platform where one can gather and exchange their views. It has a 15 members and 5 members are the permanent members of the Security Council and 10 non-permanent members, and they will be elected, of course, 2 years once or 3 years once. Let us see it. Each member has one vote. Under the Charter, all member states are obliged to comply with the Council decisions. The Security Council takes the lead in determining the existence of a threat to the peace or act of aggression. If any other aggressions would be there, and UN comes to the rescue, like Vietnam and you know that genocide in the Kigali, that is, what is that Kigali? Rwanda genocide. But still in Arusha, the Rwanda genocide cases are going on. Still the bench is working there, functioning there. And they take the decisions in the genocides. So it calls upon the parties to dispute, to settle it by peaceful means, and recommends a method of adjustment or terms of settlement. So what I want to say is the best judgment is settlement. I repeat, the best judgment is settlement. That is called amicable settlement. Peaceful and amicable settlement will be the best thing. It saves the time, it saves the tension, it saves the money. Instead of going to the court. If you go to the court and your 2 or 3 pairs of the shoes will be worn out. Did you get my point?
Yes.
So in the number one, shoes are worn out. Number two, time will be consumed. Number three, tension and stress will be more. Number four, money will be spent for your defending lawyer. So you will become a kichinjio, scapegoat. So in some cases, the Security Council can resort to imposing the sanctions. Yes, the Security Council is more powerful if any country will not listen. They impose the economic sanctions, the diplomatic relations should be curtailed, and other things will be also imposed over there. Like Libya, they impose the sanctions. Of course, now they cleared it. No sanctions are there now. So imposing the sanctions or even authorize of the use of force to maintain or restore the international peace and security. And in the 1999, I was working in the University of Asmara. At that instant, there is a war between the Ethiopia and Eritrea. And a good strategic points are there for the Eritrean to kill the Ethiopians, because Eritrea is the high plains and Ethiopia is the low plains. And that is the advantage them. But to stop the war, UN peacekeeping forces installed over there. Yes, finally the agreement was made and deportation was happened. But nowadays, even the people are going, diplomatic relations are resumed, because by war, it is only the disaster. Have a good relation with each other and you can prosper. Now the people are going each other. I came to know that even the planes are running, planes are landing. What I heard it. Otherwise, there is no diplomatic relations are there. Even if you want to renew my passport, you should go to the Addis Ababa. But the UN peacekeeping force, their planes will go and make the renewal and bring the passport to the Eritrea. So that is the way they did it. But now their own offices are there, they could do so now. Okay, now what I want to say is, even they can send the Security Council defense, and which is consisting of the many other countries, defense also will be present and they will work for it. And they deputed, each nation will deputate some of their defense to the UNO defense, the force. And that UNO force will be installed over there. And I found even a Indian army was there. Indians are there. They came as a peacekeeping force from the UNO. So not only India, but other country people also be there. So Security Council can resort to the imposing the sanctions, even authorize the use of force to maintain the restore the international peace and security. Even they can use the force, they can have used the tanks, and they will also kill it if they don't resist or stop firing. The Security Council make such a high-handedness also if any other country will not keep quiet on the say of the Security Council. So the Security Council has a presidency which rotates and changes every month. And presidency is there. There will be rotation system is there, because otherwise the man will become more powerful. That's why daily programs of the work of the Security Council will be recorded, and subsidiary organs of the Security Council also there to help the routine work of the Security Council. And then comes the Economic and Social Council. At that instance is the principal body of the coordination, policy, review, policy dialogues and recommendations on economic and social and environmental issues, as well as the implementation of the international agreed development goals. So it depends upon the monetary as well as the social plus environmental issues are concerned. If any country is producing a lot of carbon monoxide, at that instance, if the CO is more and there is a depletion of the ozone layer in the stratosphere, in the upper sphere. At that instance, the ultraviolet rays will danger the flora and fauna, including the human beings. Because of the ozone layer, the ultraviolet rays will not reach to the earth. It will stop it. It is the grace of the God, or if you believe it, or it is the nature. A powerful thing would be there and which rotates around the solar system, even our earth also. Earth rotates and revolves also. Am I right?
Yes.
So, internationally agreed development goals are there, and it serves as a central mechanism for the activities of the UN system, and it is specialized agency in the economic and social and environmental fields, supervising the subsidiary and expert bodies. It will supervise the and subsidiary bodies are there, they will take care of it. It has the 54 members elected by the General Assembly for overlapping 3 years terms. The duration and tenure is 3 years. And the membership of the Economic and Social Council is 54. It is the United Nations central platform for the reflection, debate, and innovative thinking and sustainable development. Both the economic as the social includes the environmental issues are concerned. And that is the reason now CNC, the gas, will be used rather than the petrol and diesel in the locomotives. And sometimes solar system batteries also there. We can use the motor vehicle or the passenger vehicle with the solar system charging system, and which will not produce any carbon monoxide. And I don't know whether you, sir, we born in Monza and we die in Monza. We don't want to go anywhere. Is it?
No.
If you go to the other countries where the pollution, to control it, and everybody using the gas as a fuel for the transport. Do you have a gas station here in Tanzania where vehicles are two-wheelers or three-wheelers or four-wheelers are moved with the gas filling stations, not petrol filling or diesel filling stations. But as far as my knowledge goes, I did not see the gas stations, bunks here in Tanzania. Am I right?
Yes.
Even LPG, liquid petroleum gas, with that also the motor vehicles will be run. Of course, their gas also a little difference would be there, but almost having the same combinations. Because it will reduce the pollution. There is no emission of the smoke. If it is the emission of the smoke also there would not be any carbon monoxide. What is the formula of the carbon monoxide?
Carbon monoxide.
Yes. If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know it, you say pass on.
CO.
CO is the formula for the carbon mono. Mono means single and di means two. Carbon dioxide, CO2. In
Yes.
photosynthesis, do you know what is photosynthesis?
Yes.
What is that?
The process of